Today I'll be showing you how to do this spring makeup look. Yesterday I went for brunch with some girlfriends and I really liked how my makeup turned out. It was quick, easy to do, springy, so I thought I would recreate it in kind of more of a casual style video today. And if you are new, I'm Karina. I'm a makeup artist and most of my looks are focused more on natural, simple, easy, kind of quick makeup looks to do. So if you are into that style of makeup, I think you'll really like the content here. Let's get right into the video. My skin was doing really great for a while, but now not so much. So I'll definitely have to do a little extra work around the jawline, but I'm still going to use a really light coverage, natural looking foundation. This is the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude foundation. I talked about it in my natural foundations video. It's just a very glowy, natural looking foundation and super hydrating, which is nice too. But first I'm going to use the Hollywood Flawless filter. I'll just put a little bit of that on my cheeks, just so I can get a little bit of glow underneath my foundation to make it look like I have very healthy kind of looking skin. Kind of hard to tell, but I did put a little bit of these Drunk Elephant D-Bronzy drops on. I mixed it in with my moisturizer just because I'm feeling a little pasty right now. Normally I'll put like gradual tanners on my skin, but I just got my skin lasered. It's called Pica laser, I think, kind of like IPL. I've got all these scars from my hormonal acne, and so I'm trying to get rid of that just to break up the pigment so I can have a bit more of an even complexion. So just gonna use that Neo Nude foundation. I just kind of like to start with like a really small amount, and then I'll just take a foundation brush and work that into my skin. I've never really paid for like expensive facial treatments before. Well, I've had like hydrofacials, but not like microneedling or lasering or anything like that. I've got to do a couple more sessions, but I'll let you know how it goes. She did say that I would maybe break out right after the session was over. When you're younger, you just kind of have this idea that once you can make it through like your awkward high school stages, all of your pimples and stuff would go away. Like I'm 31 now, and the truth is that my skin is worse now than it was in high school. Yeah, you just think like, okay, once I get through high school, once I get through that like oily teenage stage, my skin will be better. That's just not always the case. So after that, I'm just gonna do a little bit of color correcting, not much at all. This is the Becca brightening corrector, and I just like to put that right in the very corners of my eyes because that's where all of my darkness is. Then I'm just going to use my Laura Mercier concealer and conceal those dark spots. I really didn't use very much yesterday at all. I mean, we were going for brunch, so I wanted it to be like very kind of natural daytime look. I need to spot conceal a little bit. I'm using this Studio Finish concealer by MAC. It's in NC20, and it's just a creamy concealer, which I think provides a little bit more coverage and staying power. And then I just have this really small pointy brush, the Morphe E36. I'm gonna dip that in there, and then I'm just gonna spot conceal some of these acne scars and blemishes. And then just because I still have this out, I'll just do a little bit around my nose as well, just to get rid of some of that redness. Then I'll just take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder. I always like to go in with a little bit of a smaller brush to set my under eye area. So I'm just taking this big kind of fluffy duo fiber brush. I don't always set my whole face, but when I have to do a little bit of extra concealing, like when my skin is not doing great, then I do like to set it a little bit more because I don't want any of those products slipping around, like all the extra work I did. Don't want it to budge. And then I'm just gonna bronze but not do anything very precise. This is the Jaclyn Hill JH02. This is my favorite bronzing brush because it's big, so it's really quick to use, but it's not round. It's like a little bit flatter, so it also is just kind of like fits into your cheek area and contour areas a little bit better. This is the NARS Laguna bronzer. So I'm just gonna kind of add a little bit of color and life to my skin without going too crazy and without doing anything very precise. For blush, I used Humor Me by MAC. It's just a very neutral toned blush. It's a mineralized product, so it has a little bit of a sheen to it, kind of like a healthy glow. And I just wanted my cheeks to be really bronzy looking and just very kind of neutral looking, because I am going to put a little bit of color on my eyes. And then I just kind of run that over the outside of my eyebrows and brow bone, just kind of like add a little bit of color everywhere. And then I always like to color in my beauty mark. Once you cover it up, it doesn't look quite as, your skin doesn't look quite as natural because it looks like you've got foundation over everything. And then I used this Danessa Myricks highlight. It is in Tiara. So I'm actually going to put that on the back of my hand, and then I'll go in with my beauty blender and bounce that into the product and use that to apply it to my cheek. The Beauty Blender by far is the best way to apply your highlight, because when you do it with your finger, like even yesterday I did it with my finger and it just looks like there's this like one kind of streaky section on your cheekbone. But when you do it with the Beauty Blender, you can focus the product, the bulk of the product on your cheekbone, but then the edges just kind of disperse out a little bit more seamlessly. So instead of a streak, you just kind of have like a all over ethereal glow. So for the most natural looking highlight, the Beauty Blender is your best friend. We're almost done with skin. I actually added a few little freckles yesterday using Freck. So I'm gonna do that again today just to show you. I don't know why, I just felt like it was a cute little addition to my spring look. This product is really, really foolproof, easy to use. I like to kind of start on the bridge of my nose and then work my way out, but getting like lesser as I go out. So all you do is draw tiny little dots wherever you want your freckles to be, and you can draw the dots in different sizes. And then before the product dries, just take your finger, press into those dots, and then kind of like press around them, and it kind of duplicates the product in a really natural looking way. It kind of like will smudge the dots out too, so they're not like these perfect little round dots. They look like natural. It just kind of replicates and repeats as you use your finger to kind of spread them out. The key to making them look natural is to draw them on as random as you can. So you'll end up with something kind of like that. I love adding freckles because it also just kind of makes your skin look like it's really showing through, so it makes it look like you're not wearing as much makeup. So now that my skin's pretty much done, I'm going to just spray my face with some Fix Plus. For my eyebrows, I'm going to quickly clean them off with some makeup remover just to get any of that foundation off and sunscreen. I didn't do too much to my brows yesterday. I just kind of brushed them up. And then this is the Brow Wiz by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I just took the other end. I have like this little gap right down here on the inner corner. So I really just kind of filled that area in, and the rest I'm just gonna brush up and like glue up with the spiking glue. For my eye look, I took this Tartelette palette. This is the Amazonian Clay Tartelette palette. And I mixed these bright cream colors. So this top one and the bottom one, Free Spirit and Super Moon. Oh, Super Mom. And I just took like a very small pencil brush, mixed those together, and put that into my inner corner. And then for my eye look, I did use two shadows. I don't really know why I did this. It's probably not necessary, but I used Natural Beauty from the Tartelette palette and Dusty Rose from the Anastasia palette, and I mixed them together just to do like a wash of color over my eyelid. I think I just felt like those give me the perfect combination to match my shirt. I'm going to take the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH35, just a fluffy blending brush, and just kind of mix those together, tap it off. There's a lot of fallout with that Anastasia palette, so I always just tap off the extra powder. And all I'm going to do is sweep that over my lid and up into my crease and a little bit up into onto my brow bone as well. And then I always just make sure that I'm pulling the color up and out, so not coming down past my lower lid, but just blending it up and out so it's nice and lifted. So it's just a very light wash. I just wanted it to be like cute, springy, match my shirt, perfect for brunch, nothing too dark. And then just using that same brush, I just swept that under my bottom eyelid as well and kind of connected that back up to the top. Sometimes it's hard to feel like I'm not cheating you out of a tutorial when I'm only doing like a 1 or 2 eyeshadow look. I think it's something that I have to get over because my channel is focused on, you know, really natural and simple looks. And I think like when people buy palettes, they forget that they can just keep it really simple, right to the basics. When you have a palette in front of you, you feel like you need to like combine all these colors and do something really complex. But it doesn't always have to be that way to just pull off something that's really, really cute. So yeah, when I do these one and done shadow looks, I'm like, is this enough? Am I like cheating you from like a good in-depth makeup tutorial? Anyway, I don't know. And to finish the look, I use this Chromographic pencil by MAC. It's just like a very nude colored, skin colored pencil. I just put this into my waterline. It looks a little weird at first, but once it settles and once you get your mascara on and everything, it just really makes your eyes look nice and big and bright. For my lips, I'm gonna go in with Spiced by MAC, but I'm not gonna line the whole perimeter of my lip. I want it to look natural, but I want a little bit of definition. So I just draw right in the center on the top and kind of right in the center on the bottom, and then I'll smudge out those edges with my finger. When I line my whole lip, it can look a little bit too much, especially for a daytime look, so that's all I do. I also find by doing it this way, it'll give you more like vertical height as opposed to width, which is just a more youthful looking appearance. Lipstick, I'm going in with Midi Mauve, also just kind of like a plummy color. It's a luster, so it doesn't go on very thick or opaque. So that is my spring look complete. Very simple to do. Adding the freckles just made me feel a little bit cuter, and it was just kind of a fun look to wear for brunch. Let me know what you think. I can obviously do some more spring looks for you once the weather actually starts to turn warmer. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and I will see you in the next video.